Every day, we rise, challenging ourselves to work for what we believe in. At U.S. Border Patrol, protecting our borders is more than a job. It's a calling. Agents answer the call, working together to keep our country and communities safe. If you're ready for a new mission, join U.S. Border Patrol and go beyond. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hi guys, welcome to Cozy Room Podcast. My mommy Shan.
Hey!
My sister Ari.
Yeah, hi, Ari.
Hey. And I'm Anya.
Let's go! Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Room Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. So what's the deal with Montessori schools anyway? So basically what Montessori schools are is like a freeing wave of teaching. It works off of like fun learning. It's an extension of you teaching your kid at home, but in a classroom with different age range of kids. So it builds, knowledge and learning off of curiosity and an environment that basically nurtures your kid instead of delegating your kid what to do. And they learn from other kids in the classroom. Other kids learn off of them. It's not a lot of pressure put on their child to just do this. Don't do any more than this. Where they get to gauge where they are in their learning. And then you as a teacher can just view, learn to step away, learn, when you need to step in to go ahead and help a kid. But it's basically working off of child curiosity. And all children learn different. Everybody knows that. Not every child is going to act the same. So why not teach each child how they learn best? A great foundation for loving learning instead of being told to learn or told to do this or write this, do this. This is the only way you can learn this math. It's very open and it's not a lot of like constraints on how your child can learn. Instead of children feeling like, oh my God, I don't get this. Oh, there's something wrong with me. They see other kids learning it a different way. So it's very relaxing. And me personally, I would love to send my kids to a Montessori school. But right now, financially, it's just not something I can afford. But that is definitely a goal of mine to send them to a Montessori school. Hey, stop running. Montessori schools are also pro-collaboration, and it's not about competitiveness. So there's not this 6-year-old going against this 6-year-old because they knew the answer faster or they know how to do this better. It's more so the teacher gets to view how a child learns, what's going to help them learn the next thing in the next subject, and it's just a better environment. It's an environment where they want to come in and do things. They really focus on having good developmental supplies that would make a child want to learn. Having confident kids learn is going to be better than having kids that feel like they can't, or kids that feel like, oh, people are going to make fun of me, which is, for me right now, with my 5-year-old going to a public school, she has to kind of like downgrade where she is academically with the other kids in the class, so she's bored. So right now her teacher has her with her own desk at the front of the class. Cool. But at the same time, when I give her homework, she's done in like 2 minutes on the homework because it's very simple. So I end up giving her work behind there. But if she was in a Montessori school, I'm sure they would give her work where she feels like she can engage in it and it's not boring and it's more up to her speed. So I do think that's way more beneficial than, just learning one way. Montessori programs, they basically work through guided learning. So in the classroom, you'll have like a multi-age grouping where kids learn better. So the first one would be like elementary 1, which would be 6 to 9-year-olds learning in a classroom. The next classroom would probably be elementary 2, which is 9 to 12 graders learning in a classroom. So you just have to, not graders, but 9 to 12 age range learning in the classroom. You have to just give them the space to go ahead and learn at their speed, discover things at their speed. And you could come into the program giving kids things that they can work up to, or things that they can explore to find the better answer. Or maybe if they don't come to the right answer, maybe they can figure out where along coming to the answer that they got, that where they messed up, and it's not like a lot of pressure put on there. It's very individualized, where kids' skills are seen, tested, and looked into and dissected to see why you think that way. I personally think you can see where a child is in the classroom like that, and you can also work on the things that they need help with when you let them find their own way. Montessori schools also focus on independence with kids, which is really good, because I think a lot of children that work in a school or a public school in a classroom, they are very codependent on the teacher telling them what's next. Whereas in a Montessori school, they'll probably figure out what's next during steps they were given in order to discover the answer or see how something may work. Critical thinking, the kids are using every day at every moment to figure out, how something works. And that's what's going to jog your kids' mind, is if they're in there discovering things. You don't have to just be in science class to discover the answer. You could be doing math. You could be doing English. You could be doing, grammar. Everything is about discovering the right answers. And they're very big on having good learning materials that will help a kid focus in on whatever that subject is. Also, child identity and ability is a major factor on what Montessori schools focus on. Whereas when they go into any other type of schooling, they're more, ahead of where other kids are, because they're waiting for someone to tell them what to do, where they're more independent. Well, they just go for it and just, attack whatever's in front of them to go ahead and do it, which I think is a great foundation, because I want my kids to be more independent. I don't want them to be like codependent on me telling them what to do. Kids are usually ready when it comes to 6th graders in a Montessori school. Socially, they engage with people in the classroom. They don't limit themselves to only talk to people at their age. Academically, they've been surrounded by different things on different levels, so they don't feel like it's something they can't go ahead and try. Mentally, they feel like, okay, I got this right. I could do this. Let me try this. I'll try this. So it's not like that instant defeating thing, like, oh my God, next year I'm going to 5th grade. Or, oh my God, next year I'm going to 6th grade. I don't think I'm ready. the kid has the freedom to roam the classroom and figure out what they're ready for. Emotionally, it's not a lot of like anxiety, meeting new people or being in an environment that they're unsure about. And if you have like a unique child where they probably need a more creative path when it comes to learning, or they need someone to feed their imagination, those tools are there at a Montessori school. If your kid has, a growing interest in certain subjects, they can go ahead and, create a way or a path for your child to learn through that way. A lot of good books that are good on learning about Montessori schools that they recommend will be Montessori Life. There's a blog on Montessori schools that you can check out online. Manners, Naturally, I saw that online. Excellent school for children with special needs because their classrooms are small. Very supportive. If your child has physical disabilities or learning differences in reading, writing, spelling, or math, if your child suffers from ADHD, it's a good school to look into. If your child has autism, I would personally look into a Montessori school for my child instead of sending them to a public school where they'll only be in a classroom with kids with different disabilities that's not focused in on, what they have and what their challenges are. As far as the cost for Montessori schools, they're usually private schools, independently operated, which means, of course, they're going to be more money. There is financial aid available for Montessori schools, so if you're interested, I would look into it. Roughly from pre-K to age 12, there's usually about 1,300 kids in the school. The student ratio is about 8-1, so that's pretty good. Usually in a public classroom, like right now my 5-year-old's class, there's 18 kids in that room with 2 teachers, 1 main teacher and an assistant teacher. The tuition for Montessori schools is about probably $27,000 a year or more, depending on your region of where the school is and all of that good stuff. After graduation, almost 100% of students attend a 4-year college. So if you think about the fact that, yes, not all kids need to go to college, not all kids are going to want to go to college, but to up their possibility of wanting to go to college or being at an academic level of where they could get scholarships and grants to go to college. If you can afford it, I say go for it. I would love to be able to give my child any type of education that they want, but that's something I have to work up to in my career to be able to afford that. But annually for infants, it's about $3,000. Toddlers, yearly is about $11,000 up to 6 hours per week. Fees differ from like region to region. So I would check locally what Montessori schools are available. If there is a list, I would try to get your child on a list. But I think it's a smarter, more creative, bit more forward in the education system of how to teach your kids. And I would love to have my kids in a Montessori school. That is definitely a goal for me to look into. But I think the school curriculum now in public school is very held back. And I think in order for a lot more kids to get ahead and move forward to where they need to be, the thinking of how kids learn and what the classroom looks like has to change. And if you can, and if you're interested looking into a Montessori school, I think you should.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there. Did you know Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices? And when you download the Kroger app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Kroger today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Every day, we rise, challenging ourselves to work for what we believe in. At U.S. Border Patrol, protecting our borders is more than a job. It's a calling. Agents answer the call, working together to keep our country and communities safe. If you're ready for a new mission, join U.S. Border Patrol and go beyond. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers.